what's happening with this new sound?
Instead of trying to rein it in, I decided to just kind of leave it be, how we wrote it. Josh Kerr did produce a lot of the tracks, so did Casey Brown. A lot of the turning the saturation up happened in the writer's room. I feel like I've really stepped into my own and become more confident.
Wait, this new song that you just dropped last week, Getting Away With It.
Yeah.
I got an email from your lovely publicist this morning who said that this song showcases a new sound.
Yes.
But what is that sound?
It's always tough to wrap up the sound definition, But for me, this song, the songs I've released before this and the other ones on the project, they're a lot more rockin', I guess. I've done more typical, in my mind, what is more typical and safer country, and these feel like they're a little bit outside of the box. And I felt that when I was writing them, of this is different for me. And even just from the cadence from the lyrics or the really big, heavy guitars and the big old drums and just kind of not reining it in as much as I normally have. I feel like with these songs and Getting Away With It in specific, I kind of just wanted to lean all the way in and see what happened if we just, turned the saturation all the way up and just saw what it did. And I ended up really liking it.
Was that, though, something that you thought was suited to the songs, or did you feel like that's what I would want to do? I would want all my records to sound like Guns N' Roses.
Right.
Did you go in intentionally? Josh Kerr produced some of these,
yes.
So you go into these producers and
Right.
you say, this new Erin Kinsey sound, this is going to be loud. Okay, I need
Right.
high gain. Is that what you literally do, or what's happening with this new sound?
Honestly, so the first song I released from this project, and I didn't even know it would lead to a project, I just released it as a single, was Matchmaker. And it was a lot more real lyrics to me than I had ever released, very factual. And the sound was a little bit of that one. It's almost a little bit quirky, is the best way I know how to describe it.
The sound is quirky?
Yeah.
Do you think so? Because that I don't think it's quirky.
I feel like it's a little bit bouncy. I don't know. It felt different for me, at least. And instead of trying to rein it in to what I felt safer, I decided to just kind of leave it be, how we wrote it. And a lot of this, Josh Kerr did produce a lot of the tracks, so did Casey Brown. But a lot of the turning the saturation up, I feel like that's the best way I know how to say it. And just letting it be all the way one way, not try to rein it in to fit something else, happened in the writer's room. And that's when I feel the safest to try things that feel risky or that I haven't done before, because the songs don't have to come out. I write so many songs that'll never see the light of day. And some of these, I didn't know if they would end up being that or not. And I ended up liking them a lot more than I thought I would, and wanting to even build my artistry and my image around it. So it's been an interesting project to grow through. I feel like I've really stepped into my own and become more confident. And even on the carpet, I haven't had all this training. I haven't had a ton of experience, but I feel like I'm in a place now where I like being whatever I'm going to be, whatever I'm going to do, and just seeing what my gut says to go with and just going with that instead of doing what I feel like I'm supposed to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But when you're in the writer's room, are you recording these songs and creating demos? And are you leaving the writer's room with these songs sounding, what was the word you used? Driven, or what was the word you said? No, the word you said to describe this new sound. I've said a lot of words already. To describe this new sound.
Kind of driving.
Driving. Yeah. Did you leave the session feeling like that's the way those songs were sounding, or you just thought that these songs could lend themselves to a platform?
None of them were reimagined once we got into the studio. Most of them.
So why do you even go into the studio? Do they come out sounding better, or?
Well, yeah, because you get to have real drums put on them instead of programmed drums, and I get another shot at singing the vocals and things that. And there is to me, I respect Casey Brown and Josh Kerr, their instincts so much. And even though they did write on some of the songs, they didn't write on all of them. So to get their brain cells on it, thinking about it, of what would be cool, I love just adding another person to the mix and the players that played on it. So I definitely think it was worth going in and recutting it. But Matchmaker, Dylan, I think Guthrow is how you say his last name. But he did the demo, and it ended up being co-produced with him and Josh because we kept so much of the demo bones there, and just built off of it. But yeah, I don't know. I think it is fun to get a chance to kind of reimagine it if you want, even if you end up landing where you did. But to just let more people be involved too.
Did you play any instruments on this demo, or do you just let the session musicians do it? But I feel like you could do it.
You know, I've thought about doing it. Up till now, I've let the session musicians do it. I mean, I think I'm okay at guitar until like Ilya walks in and kills it on, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know how to play like that though. It's a different level. And it is fun to turn something so personal, and even though like the final product will be my name and my face, it's fun to know it was a group project. There was a team behind it. There was a lot of people that lent like their talents and their gifts and things, their craft that they've worked years on, got to play a little part in that too. So it's fun to turn this individual thing into a team sport.
Do you have any feeling though that you would want, like I would want my guitar, if I had your ability, I would want my guitars on the record, even if they were buried somewhere, like if they were rhythm parts, like I would want to strive to be as good as the session players.
Right.
Or to you, is that not as important because the vocal is what's important and that's your thing?
I mean, I play in all my live shows, and I play a lot of guitar, so maybe I get, my fix there or in the writer's room. But it is something I would want to do eventually. I don't know, for some reason, I guess I didn't think about it for this.
I think you should fight for it for the next record.
Okay. Well, honestly,
don't listen
that would
to me.
be fun.
Don't give in that easily. But I'm just curious because I would want to play on everything.
It is tough though. They're just really, really good. Like these professionals that have played on iconic records that have like built the sound of country music. You also kind of want them to get to be a part of your thing too, So there's a balance of it, but there's like a middle ground where they could still do what they do, and like you said, I could still play some acoustic here and there or whatever.
But like, does that maybe that doesn't like come into your mind, or maybe you don't think about that, which I think is fair. Like, do you want?
It's definitely that more than anything. It's not like a decision of, I don't want to play. It's like I just didn't think.
Who's
going
to tell you no if you show up and you say, you know what, I want to?
No, they would tell me I could.
They would tell you could. Right?
I'm sure. I take the guitar out of his hands.
Yeah, no. I just think you could lay down some rhythm or something. I've seen you play electric guitar too. You can play electric guitar.
I actually think that would be really fun. I know I'm thinking about it. This stuff is already done, but for the next project, I would love to incorporate that.
Yeah. Or don't you think at the very least you could maybe you could learn something from these guys? Like if you're in the studio playing with them, you could take out your guitar and
it would be fun to like sit in the session because they all sit down and they record at the same time. Like it's a live band. Have you been to a session before?
Yes.
It's incredible.
I know. Yeah.
It would be fun to sit in and be playing with them. I guess even when you were throwing it out, I would think that, I would probably do it out like later or something. But I could probably just sit in that room with them and play acoustic.
I think you could. Or electric or something.
That would actually be really fun. I love the idea of that.
I don't know. Don't listen to me.
No, I am going to.
I think you should do it next time. Because you know why else? Because I think a lot of people can't do it. Like, and I think you probably could.
I would try my hardest.
Yeah.
Keep up.
That's all you got to do.
But I think you're right. Like, I could learn so much. And I mean, I normally don't get to do stuff like that, So taking advantage of the opportunity. They're all set up. I'm sure they can just throw another chair in there.
But you'll set up too. Who cares? You'll show up and set up like whatever.
That would be fun. It would also be fun to like have my guitars on it.
That's what I
like my Martin and my I have a J45 that I love too from Gibson.
Are you like a big guitar nerd, or do you just kind of play whatever you have?
I have a Martin D28 I really love, and I have a Gibson J45 that I really love. But I also I stopped taking guitars to rides because it gives me an excuse to play whatever they have.
Really?
Because if I have my own, then they probably expect me to play my guitar. I mean, makes sense. But if I don't bring one, I'm always like, can I borrow this? So it's fun to play different guitars and even play somebody else's Martin D28 and feel how different it feels and sounds, or if it's warmer or whatever. I don't know. It's fun.
Who's got the best guitar out of every writer in town?
That's a good question. I'm trying to think where I saw it for the first time, but somebody in town, it might have been Josh Kerr, but I played a resonator not too long ago. It's like a $400.
You just posted a video about this on your Instagram where you were playing it.
Yes, I was playing it.
Yeah.
It's a $400 Gretsch resonator, which for a guitar, that's nothing. And I had so much fun. It was such a different sound. And I literally went and bought one the next day. I was like,
really?
I need this. And
that can't be the best guitar.
It's not the best quality guitar or whatever, but it's so different. And I think I mean, I'm trying to think of what actual guitars have like blown me away, and I think it's more of the things that are different than like I don't know if I know enough about guitars to be like, oh, the way this is set up is
Yeah,
incredible.
that's my.
Um,
That's all I would be thinking about. I would never go into a session playing someone else's guitar because I
Really?
no, never.